with Doc. I am your host, Doc. I hope that where you are today is lovely weather so you can at least get outside, walk around, enjoy the sun, get some blood pumping to your heart, and some oxygen pumping to your lungs. So, peace to you and yours. I wish you nothing but the best. And we're going to do this thing here. I don't know if anybody's even going to call in today, but I can always handle my own business, so that's fine by me. This is another beautiful day to be alive in America. At least I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to not be sick. I've known a couple of people who have fallen to this illness, and you know how that goes. I don't want to belabor the point, but I want to get the bad news out of the way real quick and real fast. So far, there are 4.5 million worldwide coronavirus cases. Hello, is this Ned?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ned, let me just get the bad news out of the way real brief before we move on. 4.5 million cases worldwide, 311,000 deaths. US, we got 1.5 million corona cases and 90,000, as I'm speaking right now, deaths in the United States of America. So it's still real out there. And while I got you, Ned, how are you feeling? I see that Governor Cuomo might have pulled back and extended the date. Did he do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, June 13th.
Okay, okay. Because
But
are you were you
that doesn't mean much for the city though. Until we get
right? That
really
was
enough hospital beds. Yeah.
right. That was like these little counties and some one place I never even heard of, like Prince County, New York. I mean, I'm a lifelong New Yorker, and I've never been to some of these places.
Yeah,
I
some of them
don't
was
even know
able to
what.
open on Friday.
Yeah, where the hell is Central New York? I've never even heard of a person tell me I'm from Central New York. So,
Yeah, I never heard of that. It's a lot of places. I'm like, oh, I never heard of that county.
oh yeah, don't people, if you're listening, you've never really been to New York, don't get it twisted. There's Long Island, the five boroughs, and then there's the state. And the state is a different vibe than the city of New York. There's a big
That's what I
difference
try to explain to
between.
people. I try to explain to people that the state is more like the other states on how they live on residential, but New York City is built up, so there's more people in New York City, the whole damn state.
Yeah, I mean, you got more people living in Brooklyn, New York, than in some states. I mean, do, at one point I know New Brooklyn was like 8 million people. That is an outlandish amount of people, and that's why you could barely ever be on the streets by yourself at any time. You know, you can be out at 3 o'clock in the morning before people walking behind you or in front of you. That's just the way it goes. New York is big city living for sure, but you get some of the perks of living in a big city. Stores being able to be open all hours of the night or 24/7. Uh, food from everywhere. I don't give a damn what kind of food you like. You will find it in New York City.
Yep.
Fresh fish. I mean, you got a variety. Shit, man. You don't got to go to one barber shop. There's five of them in a 10 block area. It's just which barber shop you cool with. You
Yeah,
know.
there's three on the block that my barbershop is on.
Okay, see, I know what you're talking about, man. So I was thinking about what I wanted to kind of talk about to a degree, and we can just fit it in as we go. There are a lot of things that I've come across that I think should be left in history after this COVID-19 issue was over, if it's ever over. I mean, well, I guess it's a long going 9/11, huh?
Yeah.
Um, and one of them is not saving for a rainy day. If that was your philosophy in life and you just was going with the flow, you have learned that that shit don't fly, man. It does not fly. You have to be prepared for a rainy day because the rainy day could be tomorrow. And I'm sure there are other things that have come across my mind. Anything like just grabs you that you say, you know what, these are some lessons we learned and some shit that should be left in the past.
Uh, just for me personally, speaking to more people. 'Cause I was the type where I'll check, I'll see you when I bump into you, but I got family members that I speak to more now during this virus thing that I've spoken to probably, like we used to speak maybe like once every couple of months.
Okay, so in other words, you're saying keep closer contact. The distance thing should be something that you should put away.
Yeah,
That's a
true.
positive
Yeah,
thing.
and you never know. Like I
Okay,
had a friend that I spoke to him like 4 days, no, probably about a week. 30 years old, then he passed away. So it's like you never know.
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I personally, when this thing first hit, and I'm not talking about like January, February, but when we decided that as a nation, as a world, we were going to lock in, there were about 10 people in my life that I considered close enough to reach out and actually, you know, contact. But I found out that very few of them even contacted me back. So I'm a I'm a loner type dude, not
Yeah.
lonely. Don't let anybody confuse the two. I keep to myself. That's how I've always lived my life for the most part. I mean, me and Ned are close. We work together to a degree, but I don't bother his personal life, and he doesn't bother my personal life. And it's just, and we're fine with that. But I'm fine like that with almost everybody. People that get any, I mean, to me, it's invading my space. Once you invade my space, anybody who claims to know Doc is already out of pocket with me because I don't allow anybody to really know me. So if anybody on the planet, I don't give a fuck who they are, other than my wife, claims to know me, then they already are out of pocket with me because they're proven that they don't know me because that's the biggest insult you can give me. You can cuss me, you can call me anything you want, but the one thing you can't say is we're closer, you know me, because you don't. I don't allow it.
Yep.
It's just how I live. And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just what I'm comfortable with. I'm very comfortable with that. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk about this next week, but this is just a heads up. Next Sunday is my 24th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
And
congrats.
so, thank you. What I want to talk about next week is the myths of people being able to have long-term successful relationship. I find it insulting. Me and my wife are not that special that we can be together all these years and be happy. I think that a lot of other people can, but I think that there's some steps that they must take in order to pick the right person so that they don't live a life of misery. And that's all I
Yeah.
did. After a while, I picked the right person. The right person picked me, and that's it. It's no fucking brain scientists. We're not rocket scientists. We don't have the key to relationships. It just works for us. But I
Yeah, because
think I
most
can
people,
help some people.
yeah, because
Go
people want to
ahead.
go with the lust thing, and that goes that way it's thin after a while.
Yeah, but we're gonna get. I just wanted to give that as like a feeler because I will be
Mhm.
going into that, and I will post this little clip right here on my Instagram and stuff to let people know that I'll be talking about that because I see a lot of people bitch about, oh, I can't find a good man, I can't find a good woman. What the fuck are you looking for? And we're gonna dig into that next week for sure, for sure. Man, I watched a bunch of shit on TV, Ned. I'm really into TV. What else I got, man? I watched the WWE Undertaker The Last Ride, and I was not happy with episode one at all.
So I need to find a copy of that. I got.
Okay, well, obviously the Undertaker is a quiet man. You could tell quiet people they repeat the same phrases over and over because they're not very comfortable talking. So he kept saying the same thing over and over and over again. Who we got here?
Good morning, this is Bones.
Hey, Bones, how's it going, buddy?
How you doing, man?
Great, great. Good morning.
You hanging in there?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Okay. Yeah, so I say this guy's got to be a quiet man. He repeats the same phrase. And when you repeat the same phrase in a 40-minute program, it becomes very boring. But I'm going to give it another chance. But Both Dark Side of the Rings were fantastic. I watched the Legion of Doom. That was good.
I agree.
Now, you did say something to me last week that you was not invested in the last OG, and I am now officially bailing on the last OG. This is obviously a black sitcom written by white people.
Oh, Tracy Morgan's
And,
just he has weird comedy in his head too. So
well, you could tell that Tracy's not even writing. This is so white. First of all, I don't know why he's not the last OG from the Bronx. He's a proud Bronx boy. It's a tough enough area. I don't know why he has to be from Bed-Stuy. And then he's confused about the politics of Bed-Stuy. You don't live in Marcy Projects and hang out in East New York and it's all cool. There'll be some gunners coming for you. I mean, those neighborhoods, Brooklyn, when we grew up, was a weird place, man. You could walk 4 blocks away and be in a war zone from 4 blocks away. And see,
True.
Bones is from my neighborhood. He knows that. His block was at war with blocks surrounding all around him. And see, the thing was, I wasn't from his block. So they wasn't my buddies either. It's not like me and Bones were good friends growing up. I hung out
No.
on Lewis. I hung out on Lewis Avenue, which was like a hate zone for where he grew up. And I don't even know why it started or what it was about. It had nothing to do with me. So I was like neutral. But I just knew that the people from his block wasn't friends of mine. I mean, they got along with my brother. My brother went to
Right.
school with those guys. I didn't go to school with them. I went to school with the guys from the other side. So it's a weird thing. And Tracy got that kind of, you can't have Tina Fey write neighborhood politics she don't have no fucking clue about. I mean, she got no clue about the kind of politics that went on in Bed-Stuy at that time. You know. Now I am watching another show called it's called Trial by Media, and I watched the
yeah, I heard of
episode
that.
with Jenny Jones. Remember the gay guy who got killed? Well, the gay guy got killed because he came on the show and he said he had a crush on this dude and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
So the dude
yeah, I
murdered
remember
him.
that. Yeah, I
Dude
remember that.
murdered. So I haven't seen the other episodes, but
It was like
this
a Sally Jesse Raphael show or something like that.
Yeah,
oh,
it was.
Jenny Jones? Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Let
like a
me see.
TV talk show.
Yeah, at that
Jenny
time, Jenny
Jones was
Jones,
huge.
Yeah.
huge. It was Jenny, Ricky Lake, Maury Povich. Uh, what's the one where they fight all the time?
Jerry Springer.
Jerry
No, Morton
Springer.
Downey Jr.
Yeah, Morton Downey
No,
Jr. Go ahead.
Morton Downey Jr. is the one who started. Is a spawn. Jerry Springer is a spawn of Morton Downey Jr.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Morton is the OG. Him and Donahue were the OGs. And then
Yep.
you had I forgot all about him, Montel Williams.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, Montel Williams. Yeah, long time.
So
Yeah.
this was, you coming home from school, and this was on. It was either cartoons or watch people fighting the owl. So matter of fact, me and a buddy from Gates Avenue in Brooklyn, we went to a bunch of Maury Povich shows. I would get free tickets. It
Oh,
was
that's cool.
no, we happened to go on horrible days like transvestite days. We was like, oh, what the
Oh.
fuck, man? We thought we was coming for fights. It's transvestite day. But it
That
literally,
Jenny Jones. Sorry to cut you off, but that Jenny Jones show right
oh,
there. That was probably the realest thing ever on so-called reality TV right there. Because yeah, not even 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours later, he murdered that dude.
yeah, and matter of fact, homeboy just came home from prison maybe in 2018. So he did a
Wow.
shitload of time. He did a
Oh,
shitload of
wow.
time. You know, you can't convince everybody that you were temporarily insane. It takes if you can buy the gun, go to the person's door with the gun, and then try to get away. Now, if you're mentally insane, you don't try to get away with the crime. You just don't give a fuck. But once you try to get away with the crime that you committed, your mental insanity plea should be thrown right out the window.
Right, right.
Either one of you guys watched The Blacklist?
I watched the Blacklist. This week's was a little funky, but I watched it.
It was very weird when they went to the car. I don't even know what you call it. I thought I was watching a video game.
Yep. We live. It was
And
live, and then all of a sudden, it was video game type,
yeah,
animated.
I appreciate the effort that they put in to try to give us a program, but I don't know if I ever want to see television like that again. I mean,
Yeah.
I really don't think I want to see television like that again.
It
And
got to
how
the
to
point
get
I
away with
actually dozed off, and and I'm like, I'm not even going back to watch it.
Yeah, man. I watched the end of well, you know what? You should. You need to, if you're a fan of the show, you have to finish the episode because they give big nugget about where we going from here.
Oh crap.
I mean, I'm sorry, Ned. You have to because it tells you what Liv's going to do with herself.
All right.
I mean, that's you might even be able to find the last 5 minutes online, like on YouTube. You know how people put up clips. That's all you need to do is see the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, 'cause I did
Now,
miss. I think I missed the episode last season because I didn't know that she was working with that lady.
her mama.
Yeah.
I hate that old lady, man. My wife gave me the business this week. She said, "You're a real ageist motherfucker." I was like, "No, I'm not. I'm just like this old lady is just killing me, man." Like there's this other old, and you know what? I watch How to Get Away with Murder, right? And they have Cicely Tyson on that. Now
Yeah.
I'm supposed to respect Cicely Tyson, but I hate that old black lady character. You know, the old black lady that starts screaming, "Lord," and help me, Jesus. I mean, I don't like those characters. I mean,
Mhm.
6 weeks
That was a
ago,
good
she's
finale,
supposed to.
though. I enjoyed that one.
You know what? I thought it was a great finale.
Yeah.
And I thought that for the most part, other than Bonnie, everybody got what they deserved.
Yeah. I don't know.
I felt,
Bonnie got her hands dirty a lot.
yeah, but
She was
Bonnie
responsible
was,
for two of those bodies.
yeah, that is true. But, Michaela really got what she deserved loneliness
Yeah.
because she was wicked. Michaela didn't give a fuck about nothing, man. It was about succeeding in her profession, and that's all she cared.
Yeah.
Now
That's it.
I don't know if you guys like this gentleman at all, but E40 came out with a CD called the Curb Commentator Channel One. It only had 6 tracks on it, and I did find one, two, three, 4 tracks to be pretty good. Really, actually, every once in a while, E40 puts out very good songs. He does that call and response type thing, or he asks us a question and he answers it. And I kind of think that's refreshing in rap. It's a different thing nobody else seems to do. Even though he did have what I thought, I have to go back and listen to it. It's a little disturbing to me. He had a guy rap named Sugar Free who might be a pimp. So I really am not vibing with pimps putting down their game on wax. But it's entertainment,
Seem
I
like
guess.
seem like all the pimps on the West Coast got rap careers too.
Because they're not. I don't know what it is about the West Coast, and if you ever been to like Chicago, Milwaukee, pimps, and Detroit, pimps are uh they're looked up to, and I don't get that. But I mean, because think about it, Snoop dragged Bishop Don Juan, and Obama should have kicked both of these motherfuckers out. I never forgive Obama for this. He let Bishop Don Juan in the White House in full pimp gear with a pimp cup. And that shit's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be taking pictures with the president all pimped out with a big green hat on. It was weird, just weird. And and if anybody thinks I'm lying, you can look it up. Just Google the shit yourself. You will find the pictures of Obama with a pimp from Chicago. And I find that weird. Now, do I totally fault the pimp? No. You got to get some stupid bitches to sell their body and give them your money. So,
That's I'm
you
like,
know,
yo, it's 2020. You still got a pimp? They got
I
ways of
mean,
you making your own money and keeping it all for yourself.
listen, man, I did something earlier this week. we watch this channel where we can watch programming from home, like TV shows and stuff. But when it clicks off, it goes to these bizarre porno channels. And so I'm sitting there talking to my wife, and she's like, we can never watch this if anybody's in the house because as soon as you click off the show, there's a vagina in your face or some dude's boner. And I'm like, damn, man, it does this shit to me every time. And then there's this game. You gotta hear the name of this game. It's called Cunt Wars. So this
Mm.
big cunt war thing pops up on my television, and I'll be like, damn. She's like, can you find these programs somewhere else? It's like, babe, this is what it is, man. You know, you guys into the UFC?
I haven't been watching though. I only saw Wednesday and last pay per view. I didn't watch because I feel like they've been having a fight on every night.
Well, I am going to watch the Overeem versus Harris and Gadelia versus Hill today. I need something. Matter of fact, there is golf on today. Thank God I get to see some professional golfers. Hopefully they've been practicing and they play some good golf. I love golf. Yes, black people can love golf, America, or whoever the hell else you are listening to me from wherever you're listening.
I
We
wouldn't even
can
know what
love
I'm
it.
watching.
I love it. So I am not
You know,
bored. First of all, it's seeing people do what I love at a level that I could never, ever, ever reach. Not even on my best day could I do some of their worst stuff. So I have a lot of respect for it. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get out. I mean, it really is brutal to me that the weather is, we had 80s and almost 90s here, that I'm not able to really get out on the golf course. And it's not because the golf course are open. Golf course is social distancing anyway. It's just
Yeah,
that
that's
I just don't feel 100% right. And I don't know if I should have this kind of guilt. Maybe you guys can correct me. Like there's certain things in my life that have not taken any twist or turns. None personally. I eat every day. My money is good. My health is fine. I'm not lacking anything, but I feel empathy for all those people who are lacking. So I don't want to be out there looking like I'm having a time of my fucking life while the rest of the majority of a lot of the world is suffering. So it bothers me psychologically. And I didn't even know I was this sensitive, but I guess I am. You
well, there's
know,
nothing wrong with that. you know,
There's people
there's
in
nothing wrong with that.
them states. Look, they had the Supreme Court in Wisconsin overturn they stay-at-home orders.
yeah, the judges are out of control, man. Matter of fact, the judges are doing this in quite a bit of states. Like they're just over. I mean, they're just overthrowing whatever the governors are saying. You know what? I don't want mass deaths to prove a point, but I think that there's no way that we can really avoid this even getting worse, man. Other countries are sitting back going, man, you know what? We put at least a foot on this net. Y'all bullshitting around because y'all got this dude who's acting like this is nothing.
Yeah, but look, before nobody was wearing masks in the White House. Now everybody got a mask on except for those two idiots.
Yeah,
Because
and think about it.
people now have the virus.
This is his second time going to a mass production factory wearing no mask. That mean that's asinine. You go into
It
a
sure is.
so why would they put mass producing masks if they're not necessary? And aren't you supposed to be the one setting example? But you know what, man? We are in the bizarro world. We live in the bizarro world, but the only thing that's messed up about it is real.
He
We
can't be
can't turn
seen
this
with it
shit
because
off.
it's his people that's boycotting these rules. So if he's seen with a mask on, he's speaking to them like, "Oh, you guys should actually be wearing a mask too." Because a lot of them ain't
Yeah.
believing this shit.
Me
They want to
personally,
open the
when I go
economy and
out,
don't have jobs. I'm like, how does this even make sense? You have a job, so you want to open the economy. You just want to fight for something. You just need a cause.
yeah, Obama's trying to throw little. lefts and rights, but he's throwing punches like Stephen A. Smith in that video. They're very weak punches. I wish he would just, roundhouse fucking kick him. But they can't. He can't do it because they're business partners. At the end of the day, I know this might piss a lot of people off, but presidents don't shit on presidents for the most part because they're in the same club, man. And it's an elite, exclusive club that allows you from going from being a tenionaire to a multi-millionaire. And they know the secrets and the ways of doing it, and so they don't fuck with each other. You know what? That's those little lefts that and rights that Trump throws at Obama. That's punk shit, because we all know this not based on anything.
For real.
Yeah, we know,
It's
but
not
these
based on
dumbass
anything.
mates that watch Fox News don't know shit.
What did he say about Obama this week? He said that Obama, or his speaker said that Obama, him and Mitch McConnell said he left no pandemic playbook. Come to find out, he had to apologize because he did leave a pandemic playbook for Trump's White House administration.
They
So,
didn't read it.
no, you know what? That brown skinned half black motherfucker, we don't want anything he got. So then they got to go back in the records and go, shit, man, we look back. But you know what? I think that Donald Trump, matter of fact, I don't know if y'all seen the movie Capone, and I'm not going to advise you to see it. It's weird as hell. You talking weird, weird. But if Trump shit in his pants the way Capone did in that movie, and he did it on the like while doing a briefing, I don't think Trump would even be embarrassed.
Nope.
He could have explosive bowel movement in public and just go, you know what? Pence did it, Obama did it, it's fake media, and move on. But we in trouble, guys.
People
We
will
got
believe it.
right. You know what? This dude is walking on water and curing cancer to his followers. I mean, those people are so far gone, man. I don't even know. But
Yeah,
Biden is
yeah, go ahead.
no. I want you to finish.
No, I was gonna say I wanted to read what one of his fans said. Like I was so taken aback by it, I had to post it to my Instagram because I couldn't even believe he wrote this shit.
You know
So
what? I need to read that.
I was reading one of the comments, and he was like, any man that turns millions into billions, has 5 adult children, 10 grands that love him, convinced 3 of the world's most beautiful women to marry him, destroyed dozens of Republican opponents in the Clinton machine to become the powerful man in the world, took our economy and jobless rate to greatest in history, has my vote. He's achieved all this battling a Democratic press and an incest vitriol from the left. Trump 2020.
Well, what could you do with that guy? He's gone.
I
He's
was like, yo,
gone.
you can't even argue, you can't even debate with anybody like that because
But Rob,
first off, what do you mean by convincing 3 of the world's most beautiful women to marry him? I thought that was a two-way street.
no,
I
not in
didn't know
that
you had
book.
to convince someone to get married. And who said they're the 3 most beautiful women in the world?
Well, in his eyes, you know what? I guess you can't fault his sight. That's that's his insanity. Well, you know what? I'm looking at them, and you know what? Not my type. So I'm gonna pass. But I'm not gonna judge. I got enough to judge Trump on than that. But that dude is so far gone. That's what you call cult indoctrination, and
Yep.
you have to be
Absolutely.
deprogrammed after this, man. Are we
That's
gonna do
crazy.
any deprogramming?
I think Trump could not be president and start his own chapter or something, like his own party or something, and these people will follow him to the end of days. When
You
he
know what
stood
we
on that
should do?
stage and said, I could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it, he pretty much was telling the truth.
Yeah, he didn't lie about that. What I would like to do, I could propose this. Nobody's going to listen to me, but I would like for all the Trump followers and Donald J himself, his family, take Jared, that daughter, and matter of fact, take the Pence because they ain't shit either. Why don't we give them North and South Dakota? and let them all just live there and put a fence around it.
Yeah.
We can't get in, and they can't get out.
And every time they touch it, they get electrocuted, just in case.
That's right. We want them to suffer. Stay in there with him and let him build economy for y'all.
What is wrong?
You know, but it's weird. Do either one of you guys believe in UFOs?
Oh, I don't. UFOs. I believe there's life other places, but I'm not sure about UFOs. Like they come
Okay,
and
because
visit other states. I mean, other Earths, planet.
yeah, there's supposed to be some report, classified report that Navy fighters have intercepted 8 UFOs. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about this, man. Personally, do I think there's a possibility that life forms can exist on other planets? Yeah, but you know what? What kind of life forms are we talking about? Are we talking humanoid, amoeba, plant life, water life? I don't have the answers.
Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, but I don't really think that it's humanoid like us. Like there's a other worlds with like humans, and they got their own pandemic going right now too. But what you gonna do that? What you gonna do? I'm gonna thank you, man. Net. I smoked 2 cigars this week because I did this show and I said, you know what, let me have one. And I had the Drew Estate Java Latte. That was delicious, a little sweet but nice. And then I had that Tayback Drew Estate Niagara, also very good. These are cigars that I would definitely keep in my repertoire and smoke. I enjoy them both. Not overly sweet. So far, out of the cigars that you send me, the sweetest one is the Acid 20. That shit is candy, man. That's the black one that has like the black and silver label on it.
Oh yeah, I think I still have some of that. Maybe I'll try
Yeah,
that one.
and those were 20 anniversaries or something like that. Acid 20s,
I had
and
one of those
they're
little
really
ones. Oh my god, it tastes like shit. I was like, not this one again. Not doing those little ones.
no, you didn't like it.
No, it was one little one that I had, and I was like, I can't smoke this one. You know, it was like a small one, like maybe the size of your index
A
finger.
cigarette. Yeah, yeah. My wife smokes those.
I was
Matter of
like, I
fact,
can't
I
do
leave
this.
those for her.
I just did it because I
Now,
needed something that was a quick burn. I didn't want to save it, and I didn't like that one. I don't remember the name though, but I think I got like 5 more of those.
yeah, I have a bunch of those also. But she likes them, so those are for her when we out and about. If we ever get a damn man, like I said, it sucks. Next Sunday is my anniversary. I can't make. Well, nobody's gonna have sympathy for me. People had to make do on Mother's Day last weekend with what they had, and I had plans, but all my plans are out the window. I'm not ready to sit down in any restaurant or anything like that, even if one opens. It's
You guys
just
open
not.
yet or
I'm not
no?
ready. Well, we're in phase one.
Oh,
And I don't know what that really, really means because when I go out to the store on Tuesday, I will be masked up like usual.
yeah.
I
You could
still
drive
will
down
be.
to Georgia. They seem like they like opening things and spiking numbers.
Well, I'm gonna pass on driving to Georgia to get ill. I don't want to do that. Now, hey, man. Now we know that this dude had to play both sides of the fences. Not Obama. I'm not going to blame Obama for Trump shit, but Aubrey's killing, and he's talking about it's heartbreaking, but there's empty spots on the tape, and you know what? You could kind of predict that Trump was going to say something like he's looking for a bailout of this situation.
Oh yeah, because now they gonna say, well, he did go into that construction site. All right, they ain't have a right to get killed.
Yes, let me ask you a question, man. Even if you stole the whole building, if you had a way to put the whole building on the trailer and drag it away, that is not a death penalty offense. The brutality in which this was delivered, and it seemed like the police were involved. Why are the police telling neighbors that if you see anything to contact this one guy day or night, 24 hours a day, like he's Matt Dillon, Sheriff Dillon. This is the same cop that had his gun taken from him by the police force. So why would they then advise people to contact him? He's the local vigilante.
I can't wait to see how this trial play out.
Well, you got that one, and then you got the young lady. What's her name?
That was
God
fucked up.
Almighty.
Bianca, something like that. Brianna.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
you know,
fucked up. That whole
she
force
gets murdered.
should be terminated.
And no
Oh,
apologies at
Nothing.
all
Nothing. Oh,
from
we made a mistake. What the fuck? Your mistake took somebody's life. Like it has to
and
be.
initially.
There has to be some consequence. Like I can't go to my job and make a mistake like that and still have a job. I don't
And
know
then
how police are the
initially
only
sleep
people
with
that
themselves.
kill somebody and they just get reassigned.
hmm.
I think I always ask that question myself, working in law enforcement, and the only thing I can come up with that is they protect the system at all cost. At all costs, as opposed to just stating that, you know what, this guy right here is a fuck up and fire that person. They will protect that person to the end, to the ends. Unless it's just some evidence that they just can't. And only
Yeah.
person to date that I can recall with that is Justin Volpe, the
Yeah.
guy who sexually abused
Louisa.
Louima, where they
Yeah.
just said, okay, we can't even do nothing with this. But
Yeah, but I'm like, he
everything
went
else,
down and they left over 4 people who didn't do nothing. Well, one did
and that,
time for lying,
and
but
even with the people that was there, he's the one who left. But
yeah.
everybody that was associated with that from the arrest, because somebody held Abdul Louima down. Somebody held him down in order for him to violate him with that baton. But even those guys, they still got light sentences. Even the guy who went to jail, can't even call his name. This guy had a job
Justice,
as
I think it's Justice Swartz.
right. Yeah, he got a job as an electrician or something, or custodian, making 6 figures. Well, how that happen? But they just
Yeah.
Somebody
protect
say,
the
you do this
system.
time and we got a job for you when you come out.
Yeah, they protect the system at all costs. Even the guy when Laquan McDonald, it's on tape. The police officer lied, talking about he was coming towards me. The kid is clearly running away. You let off on him. The union, they hired him. They hired him as a custodian. I mean, it's just a travesty. Like, you're like, Black lives don't matter. Because they just protect them and protect them and protect them, and always finding something to justification of this and that, as opposed to just morals, ethics, and what's right and what's wrong. Do the right thing.
No,
Yeah,
we
that's
don't.
fine.
That doesn't matter. And her name was You're right, Breonna Taylor. She's 26 years old. She was an EMT from Louisville, Kentucky, and it's a travesty. First of all, I kind of find this kind of suspicious. When you have a no-knock warrant, most time the police like the shock. That's why they serve warrants at 3, 4 in the morning to catch you off guard. So
Yeah.
why would these detectives keep stating with a no knock warrant that they were out there for minutes upon minutes knocking at the door? Hold on, we're here. We're here. No, you got a no knock, man. You got that dude with that damn whatever you call it, the
Battering
little
ram.
hammer. Yeah, the battering ram. You have enough police. You battering ram that shit in there. 3, 4 in the fucking morning when you catch them, the person in their drawers are naked, and you go in this house and you scoop up the people that you have to scoop up. I am not anti police doing their job. I'm not. I don't want that to be confused. I'm anti police with the bullshit. We've had, now this is going on forever, man. Forever. And you're right, Bones. If they would ever just say, you know what, we want to weed out the bad. You
Yeah,
can
that's all we
throw
have to
away
do.
that, and you know what? They would make people happy. If you bought a 5 pound bag of apples and you seen two apples that was not kosher, you get rid of them. You're not going to throw the whole 5 pound bag out. I understand that. But
Right.
these fucking unions, these PBAs are strong, man.
Very
It's a
strong. Very
strong
strong.
fucking union. It makes the mayors of these cities quiver.
Yeah, like the PBA here don't like de Blasio, so he always say something and then have to walk it back. And I'm
That
like,
guy
dude, what the
shake.
fuck does it matter? You're in your last term anyway. Like, grow some
The
balls.
doc, the Blasio so bad that the police officers at one point was turning their backs on him wherever he went. If he spoke at graduations, if he spoke at funerals, wherever, they just turned their back on him. And you know, the mayor's technically your boss. They just turned their back on him, and he can't do nothing with the police department, you know, because he didn't know how to finesse them and play that, and he don't know how to politic with them. And even just like right now, the police commissioner made a statement say you ain't calling my organization a racist organization, you know, but yet and still you're very heavy-handed with social distancing enforcement plus the mask and everything. Only in our communities where you could be in Battery Park and can't even see the grass and give out masks to people, you know. But
Yeah, I didn't like that video that you posted. It was so disturbing. I did not even want to comment on it. The young lady being arrested with
yes,
her little
mhm,
child.
Oh, that was the one in
Uh,
the train station. Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, you know what? I never tell anybody to back down when you think that you're right. But if you have your child, they have to become foremost of importance with you. It's a train
right,
station. The child could wander
yeah,
off and get on the tracks. There's a lot. A stranger can just act like they know the child and walk off while you're being in your shit.
right,
Sometimes we have
yeah,
to say, you know what? I deal with this tomorrow. I
yes,
understand that's a hard mentality because once you get heated, I've seen people get heated where they don't seem to have an off switch. The thing that I'm glad about for me, this is Doc talking. I have control of my on and off switch. If not, I probably would have already been a ward of the state or several states over the course of my life if I didn't have a control of my off switch. So I'm glad I have that. But you know what? De escalation, you even said that, is a part of the job. And it didn't look
yeah. It's
like
part
any
of training.
way to de escalate the situation. And that's not cool.
Yeah, with a supervisor on post, with supervisor right there, and did nothing. Just stood back and let these clowns do what they do. And this young lady, yeah, she probably popped some shit, but so what? Get some thick fucking skin. And she was leaving the train station.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine. One day me and you need to have a phone call talk because I'm interested in some shit. This is not for the air. I'm talking about me and you just talking. I can't even imagine how thick your skin must have to be doing what you did for a living. Because I am
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
there's things that you've heard that you go, you know what? I really wish that I didn't have to stand for this shit right now. But, I got a future. I got homes. I got kids. I
yeah.
got a wife. I don't want to lose all this shit over your mouth.
Right, right, right. And that's where your on and off switch goes because your testosterone level can't be at 100 when you're going to get this stuff every single day. And then also, too, people study people. Oh shoot, Doc is like that. Watch
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
and you working for, and you're like a walking claim to me now because if I can get you that revved up and you can whip my ass out here and there's cameras, I'm getting paid, and this is what these people think today. Oh, I'm getting paid.
Hmm.
If you
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
cognizant of what you know on and off switch, and that's the thing with the cops I don't understand either. His cameras everywhere, whether
Yeah.
someone recording or is building cameras, his cameras everywhere. You got to be out of your mind to just go wow out like you don't have an off switch. You're crazy.
yeah. Let's not forget cops put up cameras. They put up those towers with cameras. They do. The police department does it themselves.
Right? Yeah.
But
That's because they know that there's no consequence.
see, here's
You
the
could go
thing,
in the
man.
street and punch a dude in the face, and the city go pay the city go pay the fine, but you still gonna have your job.
And here's the thing, as Americans, and New York is a weird state. New York's a weird state out of the states in America because the average Joe does not pack. Mostly people in New York who pack are in some form of law enforcement, corrections, courts, or private investigators.
Yeah.
A place like North Carolina, man, I am telling you, man, I live in Raleigh. I'm thinking 5 out of every 10 people got a pistol on them at all fucking times in their bag, their car, on their person. That's just the way it goes here. And I can't even imagine a place like Texas, which probably 8 out of 10. So you have to learn the difference between an on and off switch because there are things that shouldn't escalate to the point of, I need to shoot you, as opposed to I need to talk to you, because that's just the way it is here, man. You know what?
Yeah.
We had an incident when I first moved here, and that's a couple of years ago. A, a little kid took his mother's gun out the bag and shot her in the face. I was like, wow, damn, in a grocery store. Like, that's kind of weird. But then when I thought about it, I said, damn, man, the first thing that I brought in this state, before I brought a car, I brought a gun. I mean, the first thing, the second day I was in this state, I owned a gun. That's amazing, but it's that simple. Just don't be a fucking felon, basically, and that's it. Then, that's long gun. Then you work your way to getting a carry. But it's common. I mean, you do this, you fill out the papers online, and till they call you down to the sheriff's department, you don't even have to go in. You just send them a fucking check, you know? But it's a weird situation. And matter of fact, I had a buddy of mine said he moved back to New York, but because he was no longer able to carry and he became used to carrying every day, he moved back to Florida. He's like, fuck this. I mean, literally, he said that was one of his main reasons for going back to Florida because he didn't. He was like, "Fuck, man, I'm used to this now. I'm used to driving like this. It's a part of my life."
It's going
Because
to become a time where you get these nutsos who's going to get fed up like the other guy did and went in the precinct and started shooting at cops.
but
People just going to get fed up.
now here's one. Here's one for anybody. Now, a police department, if they can back something like this, then they have no shame. There is a detective in Chicago. He's retired now. His name is Ronaldo Guevara, right? They claim that he's framed over 50 people in the 80s and 90s. He would put drug charges on them. He would beat them and make them confess. And 20 of the men have already been exonerated. Now, if you can't come down on a guy like this, who can you come down on? This is 50 dudes who would have maybe been taking care of their families, living a regular life. Now they're incarcerated. They're in a penitentiary. That's not actually fun camp. We don't know what happens to them there. Maybe they become victims because they're not in that world.
Yeah, he
You know,
altered their
people.
life and their families'
Yeah,
lives, that jerk. And it's
me
even just
personally.
like here we
No, go
are
ahead, Bone.
here we are 25 plus years later, and those kids at the Central Park Five or the exonerated five, they all of those people who was a part of that is complicit. And that shit should be just like murder, whereas you can investigate a murder 30 years from now. The same thing should happen to the people who knowingly falsify documents to get a conviction and have evidence to, that says something else. They asked they should go into jail too.
Yeah,
And they
you know what?
still
I ain't gonna
defended
argue
these
with that.
people.
There are certain things that are murder. I think that rape is murder, murder is murder, and you know what? False incarceration, when you taking chunks of somebody's life, and you don't know. You're right, Bones. You don't know what a person goes through. Well, you know, but we don't. Everybody doesn't personally know what a person goes through when they get those cuffs put on them and get behind a wall. Now, all of a sudden, shit that you didn't have to think about yesterday, you thinking about. You could call your mother yesterday. Now, fucking dude is bigger, stronger, and hooked up is telling you you got to pay him to call your own mama.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe you ain't got hand skills to handle it, or you just
Right.
ain't living that kind of life. And now you a victim, a daily victim, until you adjust. Or maybe I don't even know. I don't know if punks are ever allowed to become tough guys. But see, that's not where that's not my schooling. So I didn't care to know. Most of the guys that I knew that got incarcerated seemed to handle themselves well because one thing I do know about jails talk. That shit get out in the street like that.
Yeah, the streets be talking,
Oh,
jails be
what you call him
talking.
got
Yeah.
punked? We had a buddy get locked up in Boston, and he was a tough guy in New York, 5%er. He had a good reputation in Bed-Stuy, but he was wearing lipstick. Kool-Aid on his lips in Boston, and that shit was out before we knew about it before he ever touched back down from Boston. So
Yeah.
when he got back to the neighborhood, he was like treated like a bitch because it was like, oh wow, man, they handled you well there, didn't they? You know, but I'm not sweating for the criminal, but for that innocent dude who gets hemmed up. The system is brutal, man. I worked on the part of the system that tried to free people who were incarcerated, and it's
Hmm.
brutal, man. I've got those phone calls from kids crying. I ain't got no money. People
Yeah.
trying to extort me. Um, I can't speak to my mother. I need y'all to put money on. We were putting money on their books so that they could make phone calls to their mama.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
never understood when inmates used to always say it's better, and then an attorney later said it's better for you to fight your crime, or your charges rather, on the outside than the inside. Like, never registered, like, why, that. But yo, that's real. It's better for you to be on the outside than to be on the inside fighting your case. You know.
Bones. You know what we would do because this was federal court. At least the federal court allows this. We had suits so that you could come out of that DOC shit and at least sit in front of the jury in a suit.
Yeah,
We
that's
had
that's
suits of
very
all
important too.
sizes because that DOC, and especially different colors of DOC, the dude that's in a red versus one that's in a gray, that's versus one that's in a
Yeah.
green, that shit all matters.
Yes, it does.
Because all the juries have to ask themselves is, what does that color suit mean? Oh well, that means he's a violent offender. Oh okay,
Right.
it's a
Right.
violent crime. Shit. Okay, you sound like he needs to go. He's wearing gray. He's low level. Yeah, he's white. Nice looking kid. Maybe he didn't do it. You know.
Did you see that documentary 13?
I seen 13. That was quite a while ago though.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know. I'm just saying, like, when we're talking, it just fits in, with the bail system and just being incarcerated in general. Like, boy, when you get in the system, you really truly can get lost and
Yeah, I say if you
put
got
lost in
Netflix, check
play.
out that Santoya Brown documentary. They
Yeah,
did on
and
her.
Brower. See, that's one of the
Yeah.
things. Remember, I said this, and now I'm glad something brought me back to it. Some of the things that should go after COVID-19 ends is low level offenders being incarcerated. I'm talking, if we can so easily bail them today or ROR them, why can't we ROR them when we get back to regular life? I'm talking petty ante bullshit. Guys don't need to be in
Yeah.
jail for that. Jail,
Yeah. Absolutely
jail
right.
is life changing for some people. It really is truly altering their lives, especially for a dude who did some nothing shit. Because you don't
Yeah, and
have
it's
to
a
be,
lot of nothing stuff.
and people forget this. Bones, this is the killer. People forget that just because you're in jail does not mean you've been convicted of anything. You might be just waiting. You're sitting there. Some people are violators, parole violators, or whatever. But a lot of people are waiting for their day in court. So they haven't been convicted of any crime whatsoever.
This virus
Yeah.
threw
Yeah.
a lot of people got delayed even more now.
They released, I want to say, like 1,000 people from Rikers Island, um, due to the COVID and also to the low bails. They released those. They released them. But it is yeah, it's definitely, it's like, the United States is a first world country, but has more people in prison than any, like, I think there's so many countries, more than the next country. You know what I mean? Like, it might be we have 10, 12 countries that we add up to. We got our own people incarcerated. So it's like, if you're a first world nation, what are you doing to betterment for your people? And then there is no follow up. Like, they're still going right back to the same thing, and the recidivism rate is very high because lack of education, lack of jobs. Like, we're not going back, and like Caucasians, they're going back. Somebody will hire them. They're not. It's sad that when you so-called pay your debt to society bullshit that they came up with, it seemed like it continues for us because of that stigma of ex-con. Well, damn, when does that leave? I'm an ex-con. You just made a mistake. Because, look, we all could be an ex-something, ex-drinking, smoking, cheating, this, that, like, but that joint just, for some, just like want to just stay on forever. Like, oh, you're cursed, you're marked.
Yeah,
the next
I
time,
I got a homegirl like that. She can't even find a damn apartment for a charge she had 10 years ago. Well, probably for 10 years ago.
And here's the worst part about that. Not only do, like you said, Bones, that shit stick with you forever. I think some of them are not allowed to even file for like welfare. I don't think some of them can get disability. I mean, could you imagine you're not eligible for disability or welfare or certain places that you can live. And I'm not talking sex offenders. We understand that. We understand that there have to be restrictions to where sex offenders live. We don't want them next to fucking schools. Okay? I
right.
got that. But you're right. Homeboy at 16 did a manslaughter or an assault or robbery. He shouldn't be paying for that at 62. He really shouldn't, because he could have went on to get two masters, raised a great family, been a good grandfather later after he did his time.
Yeah.
But we have a society that goes like this: once you're something, you're always something. And you one of y'all brought up the addict. See, even their philosophy says that once you're an addict, you're always an addict. You're never free. Say you're sober for 45 years. I mean, in my book, you're no longer an addict, man. You're an
Right.
ex-addict. And I think that
Yeah.
you could be proud to say, I'm a fucking ex. I used to be an addict, but for fucking 42 years, I ain't done nothing. So why you still calling me a dope addict? You're no longer a
Right.
dope
Right.
addict.
Yeah.
We love to tag you and keep you tagged. We love that.
Right.
Say that the little boy that you went to school with was 6 years old. He couldn't fight worth shit. That don't mean at 22 he ain't knocking people out.
Right. Right.
You know? Damn, man, I'm gonna try to figure out something I can do this week. Uh, my wife was like, "Damn, you gonna have me cook dinner on our anniversary?" And I was like, "You know what? This is kind of fucked up, guys." But you know what I told her? Cook it the day before. It's the only thing I could come up with. It's not like I could take her. I mean, what are we gonna do? Drive somewhere and walk around a park? I'm not a like she said. You're not. She didn't marry me for my romance. You know, I'm not. I'm not the holding hands, walk through the park kind of guy taking two skips. No. So I'll try to figure out something, some kind of meal. But you know, it gets
Y'all
boring
still
after a
not
while.
eating. Y'all still don't eat out, right? Like get delivery food from restaurants.
You know what? We don't have the options you got right now.
Oh,
Right
okay.
now, here's my options. Pizza, which I make at home from scratch. I have Bojangles. No, my wife doesn't really like fast food. Burger King. They got some fucked up diner place. I mean, buffet place, Golden Corral. I would never eat that. That food looks
No.
horrible. I mean, I could drive downtown and probably get a takeout from a good restaurant. Downtown is not very far from me.
Yeah, that's what I was
That's
talking
what.
about. Like a good restaurant, not.
No, 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 no. I could do that. I probably could do that. And you know what? Now that you bring it up, I could call them in advance, and I probably should do that. Just go down there, scoop it up, a nice drive back home. because our malls are starting to open, but they open at like 12 in the afternoon to I think 6.
Okay. So it's
So
like a
our
little
malls,
soft open.
yeah, they've been open for about 2 weeks now.
No.
So people can go to the mall. Matter of fact, I been ordering a bunch of stuff from Jimmy Jazz, and I had to do something I never do. I contacted my credit card company, and I know I wanted to give them some time to give me my stuff, and I understand COVID-19 things are delayed. But you should not be able to order something from a company, and it takes them 3 weeks to even respond to a confirmation of your email.
Oh, that's
That I
crazy.
won't go for. So I called my credit card company. They gave me back my money instantly, and they told them we'll get the money back from them. You got no
Oh,
product, you shouldn't have had to pay. And I don't understand why they charged me before they shipped it.
yeah, that's crazy.
You don't
But
charge
you
until
think
you
somebody
ship.
would have been working in their warehouse? I just ordered from Foot Locker and Finish Line. My sneakers came within 4 days.
See, we have a major problem. I have a major problem with Finish Line, Foot Locker, East Bay, and Champs are all now under one umbrella, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I saw East Bay under on Champs. I'm not sure about Champs. But I know I saw East Bay under Foot Locker's name when I ordered on my receipt when I ordered the sneakers.
So you have the pleasure of being able to get them to bring it to your door or your downstairs. Me, we live in these areas, these communities, right? So we have this one central mailbox location, and the postal service does not come to your door under no circumstances. And I can't seem to get Foot Locker to order in FedEx. If I did it through FedEx or UPS, I could get the delivery. But they use the United States Postal Service, and I can't get them to come to my door.
Oh,
So I can't even use them. And I hate the fact that they all in one clump bunch. But I'm gonna go to the mall this week. I need some ink for my printer anyway. But they're gonna do it what they call curbside. I hit something on my app, park in front of the Best Buy, and they just throw it in the back of my trunk. I can't even approach them. I just open my trunk, they put it in, and I drive off. This is some world we living in, huh?
Yes,
Damn,
sir.
some world we living in. Well, I
I
want you
figure like
gentlemen to let.
2020 is gonna be like this for the rest of the rest, to at least through the summer.
Yeah, I think that if you got any bright ideas or plans, unless you driving to a family members or a friend's place, don't really set any real travel up. You might as well just save your money and reboot for 2021 and hope for the best. I really hate to say that, but I just think I'm not ready to get on an airplane yet and sit next to people and I don't know who they are and how testing is and I'm not saying live with fear. I don't believe in living with fear. I just believe that we have to be smart. We just need to be smart. Maybe I'll take a drive up to Virginia and call it a summer. Because I'm damn sure your city is off limits for me. Until y'all get your shit together, man, New York. And New York would be a great place to come visit, man. The food, Central Park. I love Central Park, man. I would like that. But I don't want to go to Central Park with circles on the ground, man. I, I'm passing.
I was just in Central Park too last week.
I love that park, man. Me and my wife really, really. It's one of my favorite places. Actually, I have a tattoo on my whole left leg that is the statue in Central Park,
Oh
the
wow.
Bethesda Fountain statue. I'm so in love with that statue. I got it tattooed on my whole leg. So I've always loved Central Park. You forget you're in New York City when you're in there, you know. And then you walk back out. Welcome back to New York. But if you sitting inside the park, you know, that day that I came up and I met you, me and my wife,
Yep.
we had walked all the way from 59th Street entrance all the way to 113th Street exit
Wow.
or 125th Street. We walked through, and you know what? When we left you, we walked it all the way back the opposite way.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. So we would do that like 4 or 5 times a summer. It's like the Brooklyn Bridge, man. I loved walking the Brooklyn Bridge.
So
I
you
think
don't want to
every
walk that
Brooklyn
now,
boy.
man. Nothing but tourists. Nothing but tourists on that bridge. You can't even walk. And then they have the nerve. There's a bike lane too. You can't even ride in the bike lane because people are walking, taking pictures. So yesterday I came across the Manhattan Bridge because I was like, I can't deal with these tourists.
Oh yeah, it's a big thing. I may yeah, they want the pictures. They want to say they did it. It's
Yep.
Man, that's crazy. Central Park. Living in New York all these years, man, I've only been to Central Park, I think maybe two or three times.
You haven't been recently. It's fully changed now. So it's more green than what we remember in the 90s, I know.
Wow. All right, fellas, I got to run. Y'all have a great day and a great week.
Yeah, have a good one, fellas.
Talking with us no more?
I think he probably got disconnected. All right, have a good one, Bones.
about that.
Oh, okay, brother. Oh, he's back. Okay.
Yes, I don't know
You too,
what the hell
brother.
I did.
Oh, we was
Okay,
telling you
but
to
you
have a great
gentlemen,
week and a great day, bro.
you too. You too,
Yeah, have a
Bones. You
great one,
too,
fellas.
Ned. I appreciate you all both calling in. I really do. And
Oh, when's
anybody
your
that's been
anniversary? Is it
listening,
Saturday or Sunday?
it's actually Sunday, but I'm going to do the show because what the hell am I doing at 9 o'clock? I mean,
Okay, okay.
anniversary is one thing, but you know what? I don't think you started at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. You got to have some like heat it up. So
Okay,
I mean, I've been
great.
married 24 years. I don't think the first thing that I need to do is get up in the morning and have sex. Same
All
woman I've been having sex with for fucking
right,
26
I
years,
got you guys next
24
week then.
married.
Have a good one.
Okay, gentlemen,
Okay. All right, bro.
everybody, peace to you and peace to yours. Stay safe out there, okay? Bones, be easy, brother.